All right. Good evening, everyone. My name is Moin. Okay, I'm one of the traders out here, and this is our midweek review session. Okay, anything to do with trading? This is the session for us. Just a friendly discussion among friends. But before I start, my favorite disclaimer: nothing that I mention here or on the server is any type of financial advice. We are not qualified to give you that, so please take it totally from the perspective of education. All right, let's start. So, Ali, it's your baby. Tell us what did you do and teach all of us how to be profitable traders.
Um, well, you just use the EMAs as your guide and
Mm-hmm.
to the crossovers.
Mm-hmm. So it helps, yeah?
Then
What I told you really works.
yep, you
All right.
gotta pay attention to when it's narrow and then when they spread apart.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Awesome.
And
What were you
I was,
trading
I
today?
was, um, Spy and um, Nvidia.
All right. I'll pull up NVIDIA. Tell us what you exactly did. And others can keep on picking up your brain so that we all can learn from you. So tell me, where did you start and what did you do?
Uh, I can't. Let me see.
NVIDIA and Tesla were pretty textbook trades today, to be honest. Okay. For
Yeah, I
puts.
had caught the
Yeah.
back end of a trade on
Mm-hmm.
video after I did a spy call.
Cool.
Um, so I noticed that the trend was going up from the higher charts.
Mm-hmm.
So I jumped in with a call and I seen the EMAs touching, and I just waited for a breakout from there. Either to the upside or the downside, and I actually got uh um put a call in. I forget what time it was,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like midday around. Like it was actually when you were doing doing your session with the
On the live session.
futures.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep. The moment basically everything started going up at that time and then started coming down later, right around
Yep.
noon. Yeah, right around here. This is what I
Hmm.
was riding that time, the entire period, I guess. Yeah. Okay. For
Yeah.
me, these were like pretty textbook trades today. All I did is basically see the levels that I use can work both ways, right? The levels that I give out every day. Okay, for me, I use exactly the same levels, right? For me, every time the level basically failed to break, okay, I was actually doing it on Tesla, but it's literally like a mirror chart almost in some ways today. Every time the levels failed to break, I was going for puts, taking it right around out at 200 DIY and making it. Okay, that's it. I did once and twice. Both times worked pretty well. And then I stopped because I try to take like maximum 1 to 2 option trades a day and I'm done for that. Okay, and same thing with the Tesla chart. I kept it super simple. Okay, so basically this broke, retest. This is where I took my first trade and I'm done. Okay, that was it. Like very simple. Broke through, retested, the resistance couldn't break it, and it was a downward spiral from there. My target was super simple. Take it in here. I went in somewhere around here, I think. Yeah. Okay, right around 944. This candle was still forming while I took the trade, and my target was very simple. Right down to 200 EMA, the price, and then get out. That's it. Okay.
Did you pick this Friday or next Friday?
I picked up next Friday because it's today is
Okay.
Thursday.
Yeah. I those with Tesla they were pretty expensive.
Mm-hmm. True. Okay. Yeah, but still I'll go for next Friday. I know like it's expensive. I'll make less money, but still I'll go for it. I would rather trade safe and consistently every day make my money and walk away than risk it. Okay. So that's those were the trades here for me. How many of you guys are trading penny stocks based on the momentum scanner that we worked quite a bit hard to put up for you guys? Nobody? Come on, don't tell me that all
Are you
our
talking about
efforts
the
went down the
scanner?
drain.
Smooth, will not DM, replied to J. On the left side of your screen under the server name there is an
Okay,
Events tab.
I'll bring it up
On
here.
mobile is a calendar icon in the corner.
Okay,
It'll show you all of our scheduled.
this is the momentum scanner, all right, that we put up.
Smooth, will not DM, said and a
Almost dropped it.
description of those things events.
Okay, so basically, if you go over here, I'll just hover. It's a live stream with voice that pulls up for you all the penny stocks which literally have a good momentum going on. And it's very fast compared to any other scanner that I have seen, even the fastest one, which was my previous favorite one, the one with the Nagio bot. Compared to this one, the way it's implemented here, it basically calls out on average 3 to 5 seconds faster. And it's in a room all by itself, doesn't clog up. If you don't like its voice, you can mute it up as well. Okay, and this runs all the way from 4 a.m. to 8 p.m. All right, so make sure, guys, that you use best of the resources that you get here for free.
Okay.
Any
Moin,
questions
so
from anyone? Yeah, Jimmy?
Moin, so is it different than the one on Alpha server then? Because I thought it's exactly the same and it's just like a mirror image, so it's different then. I'll try it tomorrow.
J.
Please try.
Replied
But
to Smooth, will not DM.
okay,
Awesome thanks
so the
Smooth,
different
will not DM, folded hands.
I need to shut up Smooth.
because
Let me just hold on a sec. Smooth is talking too much.
yeah.
Let me try to figure out how to shut him up. Yeah, tell me, what was your question?
So, so for this one, because it's like you have to connect to the call, right? So
Yeah,
that's the only thing that you kind of have to. Okay, I'll try it tomorrow probably. Then is it
okay.
different? Then I thought it's like a mirror image of the
It's a
one on the
much
other server.
enhanced one.
Okay.
Okay, when you have people who really trade, they know like what they're
Yeah.
looking for. That's the only difference.
Yeah.
Is,
Okay.
is it is all the way at 4 a.m.?
It's all the way up from 4 a.m. till 8 p.m.
Okay.
Hey, Moin.
Unless I have a
Can you
snowstorm which basically kills off my internet. Yeah, what was it, Christian?
go over what you look for on the scanner?
Yeah, absolutely. Let me rather do this. Look, how to read the scanner. Okay, I'll post a video on it, but other than that, later, okay, I need to make a video. I just learned how to make videos, guys. Okay, don't laugh at it, all right? No, not here. Where did we? Yeah, I think it's right here. By the way, you guys should definitely read the posts from Jacob if you're interested in trading penny stocks. He is a really, really good trader, and his posts are genuinely insightful. Okay, he's one of our partners here. You should definitely read the things that he writes. Okay, so this is how you basically go with the scanner alerts, right? So, first of all, what it will tell you is like beside the trade, you will always see there is an arrow just after the ticker. That will tell you whether the momentum is detected on a lower time frame versus the momentum is detected on a higher time frame. If it's detected on a higher time frame, that means what? It's even stronger. Make sense? Okay, because higher time frames always play out better than lower time frames. That's number one. Number two, it gives you the price range. At what price range it is trading. So if you see it's trading less than $1, that means it's trading anywhere between $1 to 50 cents. If you see it's less than over $1, it's in $1 increments. If you see it's showing you less than $5, that means it's between $4 to $5. Okay, this is the next one which shows the percentage gain, which is from yesterday's close. Or if it's a IPO, like today there was this thing called DXSG or DSXG, whatever. If it's a IPO, it will show from the opening till now. But if it's like a something which is in the market, it will show you from previous day to now. Next, it will pop up with a number which tells you how many times this thing has literally been mentioned. Then you will see this NHOD, which means like it's making a new high of the day. And never think just because something ran up, it made a new high, it cannot go any longer. Of course, it can go any long. Okay, it can go higher. Just because something is making new high of the day doesn't mean that it is dead. Okay, something that goes up higher can keep on going higher. Something which is dumping can keep on dumping. Okay, never think like it's so down. I will catch it at a value area and make money off it. Absolutely no. Trading doesn't work that way. Okay, it's all about the price action. Then the next one that you see is that if it says like a new session high, that means like with the session high is coming from a pre-market. If it's a pre-market runner, you see a NSH, that means during the day it again ran. Next, you will see the float. Now, if you're a penny stock trader, float is very important because the lower the float, the chances are more that it will squeeze. More money chasing less number of shares, plain and simple. Okay, that's the way I look at float. It's not a guarantee, but it increases your probability. Next is relative volume. Like volume is always relative, right? When you compare. So this basically gives the relative volume as well, which you can see over here, which is telling you literally that this is trading 60 times of its usual volume. Next, you have the volume traded up to that period. Okay. And there are a few more things. One is like the institutional ownership. Typically, if there are large institutions owning a stock, they definitely put way more money than us. They do way better DD than us. Okay, they will not just draw us one, two charts, point it here and there, and say this is the DD. They do much more in-depth DDs. Okay, so a large institutional ownership usually implies like it's a good stock compared to a complete junk. And recently there is one more change over here. The cost to borrow is also mentioned, whether it's a high CTB or not. Okay, so that's how you typically read the alerts. Make sense? Or Christian, do you have more questions? If you have, please feel free to ask, brother.
Where's the IO mentioned in that alert?
Here, there is no IO here. Okay, if there's
Okay.
institutional ownership, significant institutional ownership, it will mention here.
So this would be like a smaller company.
This would be a company which has less institutional ownership. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, like now Fubo has a huge institutional ownership, right? Because they merged with Disney, I believe. Okay. So now it will show up like if this thing again popped up, it will show. But at that time, it rarely had any institutional ownership. Typically, what I look for me, institutional ownership is very important if I'm looking at a biopharma. Because if there is institutional ownership in a biopharma, that means the big boys really believe that these guys are making moves. Okay, or has the potential, their pipeline, okay, has the potential of making moves. If they don't have like much institutional ownership, that shows me like, okay, not really much of a potential to go up. Okay, it's all flaky. Makes sense?
Mm. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
And we have our doctor in the house. If you guys have any questions about biopharma, we'll force him to speak up. You guys have any questions? Okay. So if not, let's move on. All right. So that's how basically utilize the scanner. I mean, like it's a great resource to have. I picked up my 40% trade on BLBX today. That was my main trade, which I did, primarily taking it from the scanner itself. And it's like about Jimmy, just to answer your question, you will find it if you compare side by side, you will see this one picking up on average between 3 to 5 seconds earlier than the other one that you mentioned. Okay, and when you're trading a momentum based penny stock, those 3 to 5 seconds really, really matter.
Yeah, they're important.
Can
Okay,
you kind of touch really quickly on volume for these penny stocks?
okay. Let me pull out the trade on BLBX. I got very pissed off because I was actually fluffed a trade on it as well. Okay, later in the day, like at the opening, I wanted to take a trade on the small account challenge. I completely fluffed that one. What I realized is like I jumped into the trade right at the market open, which was my mistake. Okay, now look, how does volume play a role, right? This is BLBX before the breakout. Or let's go a little bit back. This is BLBX. News came out, we moved on. Like my brother in the zone, he will get into the trade because he just believes his gut, okay, which unfortunately I don't have one like him. I wish I had. Okay, then I would also have like, how many Lambos do you have right now, bro? Four?
Something like that.
Oh, okay, you just even don't want to share that with us. All right. Okay, imagine, guys, he's the guy with four Lambos. We should give him a little bit more respect, right? So basically, he will jump in like that. I can never trade like that. Okay, simply not qualified enough. But what gives you the confidence? Look, the volume bars are building up. So if you can basically see like what the news is very quickly, what your levels are. Okay, one advantage that we have over most people who trade penny stocks, because we chart a lot. At least I'm speaking for me and in the zone, right? We chart a lot. Most of our charts are ready because you will see the same repeat offenders coming every few months. Jay, can you mute your mic, please? If not, I have to mute you from this side. Thank you. Okay, so we have our charts pretty much done for most of these tickers, right? Because over the last 2, 3 years, we have traded them at least once or twice. That's a huge advantage we have over most people. Because the moment something starts popping out, I pull up the chart. This is already charted for me in most instances. So the moment basically I saw this thing breaking above this level, this is exactly where the scanner picked it up here. By the time I pulled up and looked at it, this is where exactly I took my entry. Okay. Target being very simple. The PTs that I gave were very, very simple. Okay. From the level where we were, if it jumps up, 3 is very logical. Next was 325, which was right off the top of this candle. And if it goes to 325, you can be pretty sure it will try to touch 350-ish. This is where I took it out. I think 350 or yeah, 350, I think I was totally out. That's it. Okay. Now, how volume plays a role into your trading? Volume is like the foundation of your house. If you see price just making moves but not supported by volume, that means it's not supported by the buyers, right? Or if you see price coming down but there is no volume, that means it's artificial, not really pushed up by the sellers. Okay.
Order filled.
What you and me as traders we rather look for is trades with volumes, trades which are backed by volume, which tells me that the action is substantiated. Now, how do I look at that? When this thing again, okay, this is where I got faked out completely. Okay, my target was basically if it breaks, and with this small account challenge, honestly, the challenge that I'm having, I'm not used to trading in such a small account, not being able to add on that. I'm being very conservative. Okay, I need to actually trade like the way I really trade. So, right from here, when it started bouncing up, do you see the volume being ramped up?
Order filled. Order
Okay,
filled.
when the volume is being ramped up like that, that is literally telling you, hey, this thing has got legs. Okay, because buyers are stepping up. They're backing this to continuously keep on going up. Okay, which exactly that happened.
Order filled.
When it again started coming down, look at the volume, it's very low. That tells you literally nobody is really keen on selling. The move down, that is not really a proper move down because nobody is selling. Whoever bought, the volume that got accumulated here, they're still holding out. The volume in this place versus the volume when it's coming down, super low. So what does it tell you? The buyers are just waiting. Okay. Again, when it starts making a move up, breaks view up, you see volume starts getting ramped up. This is the snowball effect. Okay. As it's keeping on going up, more and more people are jumping in. The smarter ones, what they were doing is they were actually looking to sell when they saw this candle that it went up, tried to break, the retest failed. This is the time you bail out of the trade if you have still not taken your profit. Another reason this is a nice place to understand that this trade is not going to go any longer right now. You failed to break your psychological $5 mark, even with such a strong push. So this tells you that it doesn't have the legs to break 5. Okay. And because when it's going up, a lot of people will think it will break 5, keep on going higher. They will jump in more. That's exactly what the market makers want you to think. Okay, and this is where basically your distribution phase starts happening. You see, like when it's coming down, people are still buying it with the hope that it will continue. But you do have to understand that when this is coming down from here, not being able to break, not being able to break the resistance over here successfully, this definitely has lost the momentum. This is where, if you haven't bailed out, you need to bail out and make sure that you are not opening a fresh new position again. Makes sense? You next need to wait it to come to a certain level, retest that level successfully for it to move up, which is right here. When it happened, a short-lived move up to here. When this fails, this is telling you this time if it keeps on coming down, it will take out this low and move even lower, which is exactly what happened. Okay, it's like a clockwork,
Mo-
honestly.
Moin, I have a question.
Tell me.
On these momentum plays from the scanner,
Mm-hmm.
these aren't meant usually to swing, right? Since we're trading the momentum, these aren't meant to be like a intraday or day trade, or I guess
These are purely day trades, okay, or even better if you can scalp them.
And then with that being said, is the volume, or is it more important to look at the volume on the 1 minute, I'm assuming, than on the larger time frames, like a 5 minute or?
It depends. If you're intraday trading, people often use a 5 minute chart as well. Okay, if you're scalping, you look at a 1 minute chart. It depends what you want to do, Jared.
Oh,
Okay,
cool.
it totally depends on your perspective, right? Like if I'm scalping versus you are trading intraday, our perspectives will be a bit different, right? Versus, let's say, if Christian is thinking of this as a swing, he would not be even bothered with a 15-minute chart. Okay, so we have to look at it from the perspective we are looking at the chart. Make sense, bro?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
So
I've yet
does
to take one from the scanner, so I'm just
Mm-hmm.
trying to
Right.
see
Okay.
what I should
See, if
try.
you're trying for the first time, or like if you still haven't figured out, try with super small size, guys. Buy one share, buy 5 shares. If you bought 5 shares, what's the max you can lose? $15, right?
Okay, cool.
That's launch
I'll give
money.
that a try, just to get my feet wet with them.
Yep. But try with super small size till you get things figured out. Makes sense?
Awesome. Yes, sir.
All right. Christian, sorry, you had a question.
no problem. So does this analysis apply to like large caps too,
Yep,
or your mega caps
absolutely.
like Tesla?
See, actually, technical analysis, this is my personal opinion. Okay, I will call on both Smooth and In the Zone to pitch in. My personal opinion is technical analysis plays way better for large caps than penny stocks because penny stocks are much more easier to manipulate.
Order filled.
Okay, like, but for large caps, the institutions are more involved, right? The manipulation happens there as well, but not as blatantly as it happens in penny stocks. That's what I'll say. Okay, but I'll definitely ask In the Zone and Smooth to opine on this as well. Okay, because this is my view that technicals work much better on indexes or futures or large caps. Okay, it's much more
Order
easier to
filled.
trade those, honestly, than penny stocks. What do you guys think?
I definitely agree. Part of the reason that technicals are so I wouldn't say call it easier, but it's simpler, just because you could there's enough volume that you can utilize that to really figure out a trend that's taking place or identify any other indicators that you're using. They'll have some significant value to them because it's not going to be dispersed volumes and, like, let's say a PR stunt or whatever the case happens with penny stocks, or some news or something that happens that just causes them to have this massive run up. There's no technicals there because you just have like emotional influences, I guess you could say, because it's just news. Everyone's buying it up. It passed some trials that it had, right? But then you have large caps where they have intrinsic value, and what's happening is people are just buying their shares, selling their shares at a larger time frame. If you look at it, like a lot of politicians, they'll buy a year out and then they'll close it. So there's positions that were closed this year and new ones that were open this year. Um, and you can just kind of follow the volume in a sense. With penny stocks, the volume could just happen at any point, and that's why you really could utilize the scanner.
And honestly, it's much easier to manipulate penny stocks. Another reason is, look, if I wanted to really move Amazon from one place to another, I would have to put a lot of money to do that, right? It's expensive, the float is high compared to BLBX. If I really wanted to manipulate it, I don't need much capital. If I had like 10 million bucks in my pocket, I could do it. I could just keep on absorbing here, give the notion that 200 EMA is holding out very well, give small pushes on the volume. Let's say like this, okay, each volume bar is like what? 700,000, right? Multiplied by $4, $3, that's 2.1 million. It may sound a lot of money to you and me, but like if someone is coming with deep pockets, or if let's say five guys come with like 10 million each, they can easily move it to whichever direction they want. With 50 million bucks in Amazon, you really can't move it much.
You can't move it at all. Like 50
Okay,
million on Amazon, like moves like you might be in the 0.0% changing it.
you tried, yeah?
And huh?
You tried, yeah?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, my league didn't work out well, so I was trying to just dump money into it.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, no, so but you realize you also need to think about that it's not just $10 million. You can do it for a lot less depending on the time that you manipulate it, right? Like
Exactly.
if the volume traded at that at some point in time is, for example, like at 7 o'clock or 7:30, if you start injecting a couple of $100,000 into it when there are only $20,000 shares traded in the last hour, maybe the price push is so high and everybody just looks at the same thing that you are looking, right? There's a scanner in Webull, there's a scanner in Robinhood, there's a scanner in IBKR. Everybody's looking at what is getting momentum and what is being
The
pushed.
top gainers and those things,
When
right?
Exactly. When
Yeah.
something is being pushed 20, 30%, even 10%, like for example, in 10 minutes, something gets pushed 10, 15% at 7:30. Everybody wants to get that last little bit of money thinking, oh, this might either pump right now or tomorrow morning, right? We might not have a news right now because lots of times such stuff does not have news, which you don't see. And it's somebody loading up, might just be insiders loading up, could be anybody. But, things pump a little bit and, people pile onto it, and that snowball effect kind of is makes it very easy to manipulate at a low volume time as well.
Absolutely. Thanks for sharing that, both of you. Okay. So, does that answer your question, Christian? Like how volume plays a part into everything that we trade?
Yeah, that was great. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome, bro. Okay. Who goes next? We got a lot of time on hand. Anyone, whatever you guys want to feel like. Okay, if you guys want to share your successes like Ali did, I'm like very happy for him. Okay. I just used to tell him, have confidence in yourself, it's gonna work for you. So feel free to share those as well. Or anything you feel like everyone else can benefit.
If nobody has a question, then I have a very nice question, but I'll go at the end.
Hey, I have a question actually. I get a little bit of this afternoon. I joined when you were doing the future live,
Mm-hmm.
right? And this could be a very basic question, but like I just try to like put it that I think it's that the contract is NQ. Now
Okay.
it says 22,000. Is it not that like you spent 22,000 to buy that contract again? This could be very basic, stupid
No,
question.
no,
Right?
no,
Not
no,
knowing
Jimmy.
anything about futures, but yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not that. Futures go basically based on points. Okay. What it means is if you're really buying a contract, it is the
Yeah.
typically showing you the price of the lot. If you really want to put the money from your pocket, I think
Uh-huh.
NQ is 2 contracts per lot, if I'm not mistaken. So you'd be actually having to put up like 44,000 from your pocket. Okay, and
Holy
ES
shit.
I think is like 10 contracts a lot. Okay. Yeah. So futures basically don't go by the price, they go by points. Okay. So typically if NQ moves 1 point, each point movement is worth $20. That's how you calculate.
$20. Okay.
Yeah.
But let's
Okay.
say in NBKR, if you buy a contract, it's still pay $22,000, I guess, right?
No, you'll pay 22. It's two contracts per lot, right? So you'd be ending up
Yeah.
paying like $44,000 of your pocket. That's
Okay.
why you will see
Okay.
very few people trade futures with their own money.
And with the money, yeah, this is all like a funded account then.
Yeah. Okay. Unless you have deep pockets like our friend here who tried to move Amazon, I don't think you are able
Not
to do it.
close. Okay. Okay. So it's a little bit later on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So, but futures are definitely good. All right. Honestly speaking, like while talking to you guys, I'm actually trading futures now. Okay. Trying to scalp a little bit here and there. Because for me, it's very difficult to sit still. Okay. So that's there. So next, who goes next? Feel free to
If no
ask.
one has anything else, I'll kind of jump in.
You can jump in anytime.
Okay. I was curious how you like come up with your levels. Um, I didn't really. I remember a lesson you gave or one of the videos, but maybe rehearsing it would
Sure.
be good.
Absolutely. So I
And even for like
look at the
penny stocks.
previous
Yep.
price points mainly. Okay. Look, when you look at the levels, you want to find typically that what are the price pivot points, right? Now, what's a price pivot point, Christian? Price pivot points are nothing. Places from where price made a U-turn. The way I look at it. Okay. I try to keep trading super simplified. Actually, I should write a book called Trading for Dummies Like Me. Okay. So, because that's the way I look at trading. All right. I put it to my intelligence level and try to take it from there. So, looking at it, for me, pivot points are simply points from where price makes a U turn. This is a pivot point, a very nice pivot point because you can see right around here, you had once and twice, two times price rejected here, right? This is another pivot point. The moment basically you see, if I'm trading intraday, the moment I see this level is broken, being retested and successful, I'll be very interested. See, very similarly, the moment I will see this level being broken, okay, this level is being broken, the retest is done, the retest is successful. If I did not jump in earlier on the VWAP break, I'd be very interested to jump here. Make sense, brother? Okay. All I'm looking
Yep.
at, going back into history, looking at typically
Okay,
what are the price
going.
pivot points and pick it up from there. Yep, Jimmy, tell me.
Sorry. So yeah, there's a two pivot point there, and you draw a straight line there, and when it breaks on above that, that's what you are saying is a potential to go up. That's what you're trying to say.
Exactly. Okay,
With that.
because I am more of a breakout trader than a pullback trader. Okay, so I would be
Mm-hmm.
literally looking at from where are the potential areas from where price broke out. Okay, like where price faced a difficulty or a challenge in crossing. If I see that those levels are there, I would rather take it from
Yep.
there. Okay, break, successful retest, boom. That's it. Okay. Does it answer your question, Christian?
Okay. And that's on 1 minute chart, right? So even on 1 minute chart or five
Yeah, I
minute
mean,
chart,
like a 5 will give you
at
even better.
levels.
5 will give this to you even
Yeah.
better. Okay, but even on a 1, because we had the whole screen up, okay, 5 will give it to you
Yeah.
even better here. And the
Yeah.
larger time frame the levels come from, the more stronger those levels are. Because you see, like the daily levels, it had a hard time. Once we broke through this, retested it, you kept on making a new leg up. You broke through, didn't even, was not very successful, was trading around here. And this is exactly what In the Zone was telling you guys a bit earlier. It doesn't take a lot of money to manipulate a penny stock. See the volume just before market close, pretty high. Just after market closed, it moved up, right? Because all they needed to do is give it a little push using a little bit of money. Look at the volume bursts here. And we are greedy. That's why we come to the market every single day. If possible, I will spend 23 hours on the market. Seriously, if I had the luxury of doing that, trying to make money. Okay. People will like to literally be blinded, okay, with greed. The moment people see like this is happening, they will jump in without even thinking. This is after hours. This thing, whatever news it's on running, it's not a very solid news. They'll keep on jumping. What do you think tomorrow morning is gonna happen? Most probably this is gonna be a slow bleed all the way down up to here. And most likely, at some point or other, we should be testing like around 4 tomorrow. Okay, most likely. But on the other hand, if you start breaking again above 6, 6.5, 7, those are the areas I'd be looking into if I was trading this thing. 6.5, very logically, if you break above 6, you would be trying to touch over here, which gives you 6.5 safe price target. And if you can break 6.5, you would be targeting this. Go for the next round number, which is $7 to test. Okay, that's it. Okay. Christian, does that answer your question, bro?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, but what I will say is ask the same question to Smooth when he does the weekly prep for you guys. Okay, he will show you how he uses the actual price structure and everything to find the levels on the large caps. So that's there. Who goes next? Tell us.
I had a quick question about, I'm assuming these are pivot levels as well, but they were posted by Gray in the futures room.
Mm-hmm.
I was just wondering if there's a significance in the color of the line. I see there's some red ones, the purple one, and the green lines.
Okay, he explained this to me before. Okay, but I totally forgot. What I'll do is I will invite him to over one of the classes and I will request him to explain.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Okay, because we all have our different strategies and notions to trade, right? So I just don't want to give you a wrong answer and confuse it up here.
Sure, no worries. But those would be pivot levels,
Yep,
or
those would be pivot
okay.
levels. Okay. He Smooth, do you have an idea based on what Gray sets his pivot levels?
Not too sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's fibs. Looking at it, it doesn't look like fibs. Okay, we'll invite him over, Jared, one of these days. Okay, and let him take a session with us.
Sure, no worries.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right. Who else has questions? No one else? That looks good. I can go to sleep early.
When you trade futures, you just trade two stocks. I mean, or yes, two stocks.
Two names, yeah. Only ES and then okay, SPY and QQQ futures. Because these have liquidity throughout the 23-hour period they trade, right? So for me, those are way more than enough to handle. Like,
Every time I look at the chart, it seems like it's moving really slow.
because you look at it in the night when things are really in the graveyard shift, bro. You need to look at it during the morning. Okay, your heart rate will go up significantly. Like, I got in the zone into doing futures these days. Sometimes he tells me like his heart keeps on pumping, okay, faster than his Lamborghinis.
Uh,
Like around what time? What time is that? Like
Do one thing, Ali. Paper trade just one contract of NQ right around open. You will see faster than you
do
can open and
MNQ.
close
Don't
your
do
eyes.
NQ.
Yeah, your
Don't do
account will
NQ.
go.
Do MNQ.
No, no, no. I said paper trade, Ali. Okay,
Oh,
paper
paper
trade
trade.
one
Okay.
just one contract of MNQ right near the open. Try blinking your eye. Sometimes you will see within that period $500 vanish.
what time is the open?
I mean the regular
9:30.
market open 9:30.
After 6
Okay.
o'clock, it's much faster.
Okay.
What I've felt like after 6 o'clock in the morning, it
Yep.
starts to really become much faster. 8 o'clock, it's really nice, and then
That's
by
a very
nine
nice
thirty,
time
we
to pick
start
up
the regular day
trades.
volume.
Yeah. That's
Yep.
a very nice time to pick
And
up like a couple of $100 easy without having
yeah,
to
you get a
pressure.
very good direction at that point in time as well. So if you can really find the direction at that point in time, you can really carry it through the day. I've realized looking over the last few days,
Mhm.
like when the market has a direction that 4, 5, 6 o'clock, 5 and 6 o'clock is when the market pivots usually, and you usually know where the direction is headed if you can identify the direction, and then you'll see that it kind of heads that way pretty
Why don't you
nicely.
tell us from tomorrow what's the direction? Then all of us don't have to go
Oh
through
my,
much pressure.
thank you.
Just make some
Well, I mean,
money.
it
Well,
was it was easy yesterday. It was easy today, I guess, with the announcement of the AI investment and all of that stuff. So it was easier to identify today, for me at least. I wish I could have traded it earlier, but I wasn't.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
also
Today
like
was
did really nice
interesting.
during the day, and then lost a lot when the market pivoted today.
but I hear y'all saying that it moves fast, but couldn't you just like set it up like a trap?
Like with bracket orders, is that what you mean?
No, like so if you see the movement on like a higher chart, can you anticipate when it's gonna hit a certain level and then put your trade in there?
We trade based
Uh,
on probabilities only, Ali. Right. So we try to figure out like from where the moves will be and try to catch those moves. If that's your question, right? And these are, I mean, you know very well by now, right? Nothing is certain in trading.
Right.
Okay, so you try to find out like where the high probability trades might be and you try to capture those. That's all I will say. Okay, that's what typically we look for.
The problem is you
Oh,
can try doing that, but I get what you're saying. You can try identifying levels and just take the trades of those level, and that's fine. But the problem is that levels are, if that's what you mean, but levels are or those key areas are not set in stone, right? It's not like at 22,000 it will reject and it will come down, or if it crosses 22,000 it will just go up. Like the price fluctuation in futures, the little bit that I've traded, I've realized is you can go up 30, 40 points, 50 points up, and that's a couple of $1,000 here and there, depending on how many contracts you had. And that could destroy your account completely. And that's just a regular fluctuation between where it could have, especially for NQ, I guess, right? It can really fluctuate here and there without any problem.
It can just kill you. I mean, like, it can
Yeah.
just kill an account with just even one contract,
Yep.
especially if you're trying to
That
trade the
happens.
news. You remember, like, I warned you, like, never try to trade the news. Those were the
Yes.
reasons, okay? Because between
Yep.
me and James, especially, I think, like, we have tried everything that was possible. There was a
Yeah.
time we used to buy accounts with the profits we used to make just to test, like, whether this will work or this will not work.
Yeah, no, for example, on the CPI day, I was looking at it, and the candle that just went up was just ridiculous. Like, there is no way. I don't even know if a bracket order would kick you out. Like, if you went short on it, thinking that the market would go down, and you had a bracket order, I don't even know how that would kick
The
you out.
brackets
Like,
often
I'm sure
don't
there's
work.
liquidity.
The brackets don't
Yeah,
work.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
yeah,
have
you
to
would
do
have
like
blown an
a
account
stop,
for
and
sure,
that
even
might
with
not
one
even.
account.
Yeah.
Huh?
You would have to do a stop order, and that might not even work either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, it just moved so fast and so high within like a second. Like, it wasn't like 30 seconds or 15 seconds or 20 seconds out. It wasn't that. It was literally the second the news came out, you saw a candlestick shoot up, and that was like the majority of the move, like done within I don't know, like 2 or 3 seconds. Like you can't react
That's
fast enough to
pure
drag
gambling.
yourself on that.
It's
Huh?
funny you guys say that because the current candle on NQ, like at 9:46 a minute ago, as you were talking about this, went down 22 points, and all the other
I'm
candles were
looking
like
at it.
5. And it literally just suddenly look, and it's
I looked at it.
continuously to
Yep.
have this like
I had a
massive drop.
resting order
I
at
had
this
a,
move.
I
I had
had
a
a,
resting order at
I had a
56
sell.
to short.
Dude, I had a short order as well, and then it went down so like low. I mean, I'm glad it filled me, but Jesus, if it went down way
Mine was a
past my
resting
like
order right
take profit.
here. Okay, mine was a resting order right here. The moment it broke, with this candle, it kept on taking down. My target is here.
I entered at 961 and my exit was 958. So
Oh, you
literally
entered
like,
way earlier.
you
You
know,
entered on the
three
VWAP break.
the well the VROP rejection and then
Yeah.
also the break and the structure that I have built out here. It broke out of the pullback and it
Okay.
just
Mine
went
was basically break of
way
this level.
mayhem.
Okay, I had a resting order sitting right here. The moment it broke through, my order got
56.
triggered.
There's a small down channel that's been taking place from like 8 o'clock to like 8:45.
Your
If you
trading
just drew a
concepts are
channel
too
there.
high level for me. Okay. Yeah. All right.
But it basically broke. It was a rejection off the channel, and then VWAP was the confirmation for the entry, and I got in at that like 8:42, right when it rejected VWAP. But then
Nice.
to make the assumption it would go that far down is crazy.
It's gonna
Caught me
happen.
off guard.
Let's see. I'm pretty sure it should
I
happen.
got filled, but that was crazy.
Okay. We should be, my price target I kept at 45. We should be hitting this level. We'll move up a little bit, but sometime or other during the night it should come down here. Let's see.
Yeah, it has a little bit of a sloping support here, and then once it breaks it, there's nothing below it for it to. It
Let
can
us see what
go straight to
happens.
45,
Yeah.
as you said.
All right. So that's it pretty much from us for tonight. Okay. Any last moment questions before we wrap up?
Moin, what was the difference between when you first started futures versus when you passed your evals consistently? Not your first one, but when you consistently passed eval. What changed? What did you see different?
I just
Was
took
it
it much
price
more
action?
slower.
Huh?
I just started taking things much more slower. Okay,
Okay.
like when I first started, I was like in a rush to pass the evals, right?
Thank you.
Then I figured
Okay.
out like there's no point in rushing. If I make 300 bucks a day on a 50K eval, I pass it in 10 days. I paid for a month, right? I paid
Yeah.
for literally 20
Thank you.
trading days a month. I pass it in 10 days. I still have a buffer of 10 days very comfortably. So no point in rushing. No point in like trying to force a trade. Let it come to you, take the trade, get it. You saw me trading today in the live, right? I was just getting
Yeah.
trades and I was like taking 4 points, 5 points, and then
13.
getting out. That's it. Okay. I just took things much slower. That's the only thing I'll say that really worked out.
Okay.
You waited for better opportunities rather than just trying to get in to get in.
Yeah, and stop trading like after you made your 300 bucks or 200 bucks. That's it.
Don't say that.
I know
I
what you did
literally
today.
made that mistake
Yeah.
today. I was at 200 plus up, especially when I traded with you. I was like way above 200, like before that, like almost like 250, 300 bucks. And then Smooth, I was telling Moin, I almost blew up my account.
Oh my god.
It's okay.
Like I
You should
was,
be happy you are still managing to survive with your first account for almost a month now.
Yeah,
I took it all the way my buffer back to 2500. Like all the way to 2500. I was actually in the positive, like, like went to like, I don't know, 51,300 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then literally erased all of it to down to 250. I was telling Moin about it today.
It's okay. Don't worry. You'll get it back. I'm pretty sure. All right. You should be happy that you're managing to survive the first month with the first account till now. Right. I failed
Yeah, I mean, I
3
brought
before
it
I
back
managed
to
to pass the first one.
I brought it back to 800, like after,
Good.
and then I stopped trading. I was like,
Yeah.
with
Stop it.
myself.
Tomorrow is another day. Make it another 800 back. Then in 2 days before end of the week, you'll back to 2500. Just take it easy.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it, guys. Okay, and ladies, thank you again for joining. All right. Good night.